Good morning, friends. This is the Cryptonian taking a look at Bitcoin and some altcoins. But before we do that, I wanted to highlight some information. S&P is down about, well, it's about 2.9, about 3%. S&P down 3%, Dow Jones the same, 3%. NASDAQ a little bit less than 10%. The Russell 2000 index down 18.6%. And and of course, there's not a lot of negative news. Ukraine war between Russia and Ukraine again, and many other negative news articles about interest rates. Right. However, look at this. This article is very interesting, and it says, and this states what I've been saying in the past, right? About it's really buying and selling. Those are the two mechanisms that affect the market. And this pretty much supports that. This says excessive Fed liquidity has the effect of inflating many asset classes, and that includes cryptocurrency, right? And so this is what's been happening in the past when the tech sector in the stock market is going up, when stocks are going up, and they've been going up for a long time. Crypto benefits, especially Bitcoin. Um, Additionally, it says here liquidity is the key driver, not interest rates. Isn't that interesting? So, all of this talk about the Fed raising interest rates, which is next week, by the way, is really, it's a non-issue because the main driver is liquidity. It's buying and selling by the large institutions, the banking sector, um, fund managers with billions of dollars. Those big players, the smart money, they are what moves the markets, right? And when they take profits and take money out, you're looking at large declines in price, right? Big sell-off. Now, that being said, uh, the news media machine spreading FUD and negative, fear about the interest rate meeting coming up with the Fed Tuesday and Wednesday, January 25th and 26th here. That's creating uncertainty in the market. But, it's liquidity that moves the market. It's liquidity that is the main driver of the market. So the Fed, I don't think they can raise rates too much. I think it's a non-issue. It's been a non-issue for a long time because the economy is weak. And if the Fed is aggressive with raising rates, they're going to injure the economy, right? So I don't think that's going to be an issue. What is the issue is when the big boys exit, when the big boys take profits in the market, they try to blame other factors because they don't want the retail buyers to know that they're really the ones crashing the market. They're really the ones bringing prices down because they're selling billions of dollars worth of assets. So keep that in mind, friends. So with that in mind, right now Bitcoin is at 35,100. I do think that we should see some type of consolidation here. We've already dropped 50%, which is very close to what we've dropped here. Actually 49%, 40, 48, 49%. Very close to this drop. This drop was 50%, okay, that we had last summer. That being said, we are currently uh, at the 100 daily moving average and we are on a trend line of support. These two factors, I think, plus the factor of we had 3 months accumulation in this area last year, I think provides a reasonable case for the expectation of some type of consolidation here, right? Um, this is the Fibonacci point 5, which is the beginning of the golden pocket, which is 36,300, and then when we come down to the 0.61 Fibonacci at 28.7K, this is the golden pocket right here. This is where most of your securities and assets bounce or rebound or see some type of buying come in. Okay, so if we do not hold this $35,000 level, the next level that I would expect to see is the fib of 28,700. I'm not saying we're going to come down that far. I'm just saying if this level doesn't hold, I do think there's a good chance of this level holding. I think there's probably a 70-75% chance of this level holding. But what I would say is we need to look for number one, the Fed meetings to be over with next week, and we need to see a rebound. We need to see some buying come in, and if we see that, then we could consolidate here, right? Now, in this consolidation, I need to see, and I will be looking for large volume large green volume bars. That will be an indication that the institutions are buying. That's what we saw in this area. I've shown on previous videos that there was some nice green volume bars which indicated large buying volumes, which more or less were in my opinion, were the institutions. Now, if you remember, I thought this was a Wyckoff accumulation zone up here, but it was a fake out, turned into be redistribution. And primarily, if you remember here, I said, listen, I'm not seeing those large green volume bars that are a sign of institutional buying. So that was what made me nervous about that area. If you remember, I did mention that on some previous videos. So I was thinking, that was a red flag to me. And then, of course, that's because institutions were not buying, and we came farther down. Now I'm going to be looking for institutional buying at this level. When that will happen? Well, if it's going to happen, it probably will not happen, until, maybe later on this next week, after the Fed meetings, or even the week following that. So we could see there's a couple scenarios that could happen. We could see a quick rebound, okay, moving higher, or we could see just a slow accumulation here, similar to what we saw in this area last summer. Now, the reason why I think that we could go into this, slow accumulation is that the market is shocked. We dropped 50%. A lot of retail is scared, and they're probably not wanting to enter the market until until Bitcoin shows stability in this area. You're going to see a lot of activity of traders here. There's going to be a volatility. There's not going to be very many participants from retail, so the volatility will be it'll be easy to move the market, and so you'll see a lot of volatility from professional traders and short-term buyers, speculators. But like I said, I'm going to be looking for institutional involvement here. That being said, once the institutions come in and establish the trading range, then that would be a great place, in my opinion, not financial advice, of course, great place to enter in a position. Of course, keeping in mind possibility of a downside, redistribution, or coming down to 28.6, 28.7K, or 29 in that area. It is a possibility. That being said, RSI is 37 on the weekly, very close to being oversold. If we do not hold this level and we come back down to 28.7K, we could definitely see an oversold reading on the RSI in the weekly, which would be excellent place for entry point, in my opinion. So that's kind of what we're looking for, friends. Just looking for the Fed meetings to resolve and finish, looking for the market to see this as a buying opportunity, and I'm looking for buyers to come in, the bulls to come in and start pushing these prices higher, not with volatility doing this, right? And of course, looking for institutions. That being said, while old man Bitcoin is recovering from his fall down the stairs, we do see altcoins recover much, much quicker than Bitcoin. Always have. And you see that a lot of altcoins are recovering very well. Altcoins are very active. Whenever you see Bitcoin after a big sell down, and once it stabilizes, once the fall is stabilizing, you see altcoins recover much quicker. Elon up 19%, Atom up 12%, PBX up 12%, FTM 11%, right? So you can see all of the altcoins that are doing well today. Now Asia did pump these over the evening, so that's one thing to keep in mind. But altcoins will outperform Bitcoin at this time in the short term. But just like in the past, once Bitcoin does recover, and you see Bitcoin putting in like this 10K, 10, 12, 13K candlestick within a week or two, that is the time that the Bitcoin dominance will increase and Bitcoin will outperform the altcoins, or most altcoins. Now, what are some of the projects that I'm going to be looking for as potential buys after this market stabilizes a little bit? Phantom FTM, I think, is a real good one. Phantom FTM has done excellent and still has a lot more upside, I believe. So Phantom may see a rally back up to the all-time highs. Rose, I think, is a good. Rose Oasis is a good one. I think Rose will do well. Glimmer, I think, is excellent. It's brand new. GLMR, I'm going to be looking for a position in GLMR. I think it's going to do excellent because it's part of the Polkadot ecosystem, and it's kind of like a Moon River, but Moon River is for the test net, not for the regular chain. So Glimmer, I think, will do well. Arweave AR, I think, will do well. It's a storage play. I think it'll do well. Storage is really big. Amazon and Google have made a lot of money in storage, as far as I know. So Arweave is a storage play. I think they'll do well. Let's see. Luna, of course, will do well. I think that's another one to keep your eye on. Again, friends, this is not investment advice. I'm just giving you my opinion, what I'm going to be looking at. AVAX, I think, is another one that I want to pick up. And let's see here. I think Aave will do well. Aave, DeFi. Engine, I think, will be has a bright future because of gaming. And of course, metaverses are huge. And you see Engine right here is at the 100 daily moving average as well. So I think Engine is one to watch. Pre-search is one to watch. They are. It's kind of like a competitor to Google, and that's like a search play, search engine play. One Harmony, I think, will do well. They're a little bit different. They're a layer one. Proof of history is part of their genetic makeup, part of their functionality. So that's interesting. I think it'll do well. Solana, I think it'll do well, but it's a toss-up between Solana and Cardano right now. I think Cardano's starting to gain momentum. Excuse me. I think Cardano's gaining momentum, especially with DeFi coming up. And I'm leaning towards Cardano. Towards Cardano. And of course, Solana has had 3 DDoS attacks. They've had some issues. how they handle that in the future and how they develop will be um, an indicator of whether I'm going to buy them or not. Again, I bought them in the past, um, so not really sure. I'm still on the fence about that. I may just buy both Solana and Cardano, both. AXS, Axie Infinity. I think they'll do well, but I think a lot of the growth has already occurred. Matic, I think, will do well because it's still in demand for. It's a layer 2 solution because Ethereum has high gas fees, and so I think Matic is going to be a good choice. Um, and of course, ADA again, and uh, Illuvium of the gaming sector. A lot of hype around it. We'll see what happens. Possibly a good play. But there you go, friends. Um, that's what's going on in the market. That's what I just kind of wanted to update you with a little bit of what's going on. And don't want to make the video too long. I know the longer videos, not much of a fan. Also, one other thing I wanted to bring your attention to, and this kind of demonstrates what I was talking about before, is that the Alaska Department of Revenue, right, which invests public funds, right, sold material amounts of investments in GE. They sold off GE. They sold off Carnival. They sold off Micron Technology, T-Mobile, and you know they had, or excuse me, they manage close to 110 billion in public assets. 110 billion. So this is just an example, just one example. I'm sure there are many others. Banks and large hedge funds. I'm sure a lot of these uh, institutional money managers took profits, and that's what helped bring stocks down, and of course bringing crypto down as well, because crypto does have sympathetic price moves with the stock market. So thank you for watching, friends. If you found this information uh, entertaining or useful, please click like. Please let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Bitcoin's going up? Do you think the bottom is here? What cryptos are you looking for to buy? What do you think is interesting, and why? Please share so that the rest of us can also benefit. I'd like to see what my viewership is doing and what their position is on some of these cryptos, and what your position is about the market in general. So thank you, friends. Be safe. Remember, rule number one: never lose money. Take care. See you next time.